Hello traders, I am Stephen Davis, Senior Market Strategist, RJO Futures. Friday morning, April 13th, we're going to talk to you about the grain markets today. Okay, this time of year, every year, planting is front and center, and this year more so than ever. You had Argentina with the worst drought in 40 years. Demand for corn is so stout and so stellar. We really need to get this crop in the ground and get moving on into the summer growing season. Forecasts still look wet and cold, even snow flurries, which is certainly going to hamper corn planting early next week. So we'll keep an eye on the weather. I was talking to a client yesterday in Kansas. That part of Kansas, the high was 92 degrees and high winds, and the low overnight was 19 degrees. So this weather seems to be extreme, and we'll keep talking about that. At the end of April here, in a few weeks' time, you want to see the corn crop about 40% planted. So I'll be talking about that in the weeks ahead. I got a feeling Sunday night, weather in the next 5 weeks is going to be volatile, and then Monday night we're going to get crop conditions, how much percentage of the corn crop is planted like that. So we'll roll with that here in the weeks ahead. Don't bet against the U.S. farmer with the technology, equipment. They get it done. They feed the world. Nonetheless, early planting here is off the cards here. It's cold and wet in the Corn Belt, and we'll see how we go. I saw a headline this week, coldest April in 30 years. So, that's kind of a concern here, but it is April 13th, a little early yet. I also saw another headline this week that TPP is back on, Trans-Pacific Partnership. That's a good story for our grain markets and our grain exports. Also, Mexico is going to have an election in July, and I'm hearing some reports that NAFTA Point 2 is going to be redone here. That would be a fundamental boom here for our soybean and corn export. So we'll see about that. Okay, we got a weekly chart of corn here. You can see it's up into pretty good resistance. Soybean market. Okay, all of a sudden a lot's going on here. We were higher overnight. We're lower as we speak. I got a weekly chart of soybean here. See if you can see 3 weeks of higher highs and higher lows. Many times the markets go in segments of threes. So it's going to take buying and lots of it to keep these markets higher. Soybeans are trading higher with the concerns of lower production around the world. So exports are stout here in soybean. We had a good export report this week. China needs us and we need China. I think that's important to say. And China's been negotiating with rulers and leaders for centuries and centuries, some more dynamic than our President Trump. So don't count the Chinese out. They're savvy traders, but they do need our soybeans. And then lastly, wheat here. We got a weekly chart of wheat. You can see it's up into good resistance here. It goes in threes, 3 weeks of higher highs and higher lows. USA, we're only 4% of the wheat production in the world today. Corn, we're 35% of the corn production in the world today. USA, a real powerhouse here in corn production in the world. Everybody have an excellent weekend.